Happy Friday, everyone. Warm welcome from me and this little puppy here, Louie. I hope everyone is doing really, really well. I am so glad to be hosting this webinar. It's so fun. I always tend to go through the attendee list before a call like this and just see who's going to be there and have prepared a bunch of fun things for everyone who RSVP'd and might be watching this as a replay as well. So I have I have been one of those kind of guys who actually don't really like webinars. Not that I don't think they're valuable. It's just like sitting there passively and it doesn't really do anything. So I was thinking like, how can you make a webinar fun and interactive? I'm gonna have a fun little thing. I want this really to be more than just a passive, boring little monologue. I want people to be interactive. So for everyone who puts in a comment, Louis here, come Louis, hop. He's gonna get a treat. So if you want to give this little dog some Friday fun, engage, comment, and we'll have a really good fun session here. What I'm going to do is I am not here to sell. I'm not here to push anything. I really just am here to provide value. I've worked more than 50 years analyzing websites and getting a lot of positive comments on the feedback, the recommendations that I've given. Is like, this is really, really valuable. So this for me is really just trying to help people who know that they have a lot of potential with the website. They just don't really know what they need to do, how to get there, and so on and so forth. Um, I always tend to say that there are very, very, very few businesses who wouldn't have a website where they can convert a ton of leads, sales, engage the community. They just don't know how to get there. And that's what the point of this call here is going to be. So, to prepare for this webinar, what I did was I went through everyone who has RSVP'd to the webinar, gone through and see if they had like a website. And I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to give a feedback. It's also part of the description of the event. I hope you are all were aware of that, that if you sign up for the webinar, one of you might be selected and I'm going to give feedback on your website. So what I would love for you to do now is go and just post in the comments if you do not want to have feedback on your website, and I will not do so. I will always respect everyone's privacy, but it was in the description of the event, so I hope everyone is aware of it. Um, but I'm going to start by just sharing my screen. Um, let's go here. You should hopefully be able to see my screen here now any second. Let's see here. So we're going to look at a couple of the different attendees on this event. The very first one here is Phoenix Tool Company. Um, this is a website that I just laid my eyes on very, very quickly. It's a company based in Ohio. And what I'm going to try to do is to give very, very quick feedback on as many websites that I can, as I humanly possibly can. Um, it would be great if you can just, if you now in the comment section here, post your website if you want me to jump in and give feedback. I have a different monitor here on the side where I'm looking at the comments all the time. So let me know and I'll give feedback on your site. So the very first one here, Phoenix Tool Company. This is a website that I definitely wouldn't recommend, or I would definitely would recommend doing a little bit of an overlook to this. Because as you see here, it says quality since 1948. Almost seems like the website was built at that time. No offense, I'm going to be brutally honest, so take it with a pinch of salt what I say here. But a website like this is absolutely going to scare away more people than it's going to attract. Um, very, very often when a website looks like this, I get very, very suspicious because I wonder if they already have too many clients and they can't take on more, because otherwise they wouldn't want to have a site like this. But look even at the messaging here. We only see a small part of the screen. Like it doesn't even cover up the full screen. If I zoom in, then we could see more. But like it's not even adapted for desktop, which is very, very rare to find. The messaging itself, it seems like it's just a photo of a shed, and that's it. This is a website that probably would need a complete overhaul. If you're looking at this website and you think this is a good one, comment that, because I would love to pick your brain and see what you like about it and what you dislike about it. I'm going to rate this out of a score of 5. This gets a 0. If the goal of this is to generate leads, clients, engagement, or even just build trust and credibility is not doing any of that right now. Um, so what they would need to do is start all over. This needs to go in the can, begin from the beginning with a big, beautiful photo, a short, crisp message that says what they do, who they serve, and build some trust and credibility. I would have somewhere where I highlight the different kind of products that they sell. I need to go here to products. And here we have a ton of different projects that we could look at. So they have a lot of good content. But imagine the presentation here. Imagine if you would be a potential customer to this site and you go and see this here. I think you would be very skeptic to engage. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, all right, we're going to go to the next one. The next one is this one here. This is a locksmith in the UK. Um, when we land on this website right away, the very first thing that I noticed is we have a photo in the background that is just a car. Doesn't really say that much. It's doesn't really understand what it is, what it does. We then look at the text, and there's a ton of text here. So we have the logo type, and then we have so much text here. We have so much text here. Over 10 years of experience, good text and information, but this is just too much coming at you right at once. So a locksmith is a typical type of business that gets a lot of traffic through like Google and referrals. That's a very typical way. It can also be when it comes to like running ads, but I would assume that this business mostly gets their traffic from Google, Google searches. So again, when you have this much text and information, I see so many websites that are very much like a, I don't know what to call it, like a casino in a sense, where you have pop-ups and things blinking and there's text everywhere, and it's like it's almost like an overwhelm you slay your eyes on, and that's a little bit where this website is heading. I would simplify this quite a bit. I would have, once again, simple, clean photo right away showcasing someone fixing a lock. Secondly, I would say locksmith and the area where they operate. Next, I would have like a little bit of a section that showcases how people love working with these guys on Google. Maybe some Google reviews, a testimonial, something that right away when I land on the website, I go, wow, this, I get what they do. I am looking for it, and people seem to be love working with them. I'm probably in very good hands. And the very next thing that I would do is I would add a little bit of an online booking calendar, so that people can quickly say, okay, let's schedule a call so I can learn how you can help me. Um, in some of these cases as well, we have clients who basically can take an order straight from the website. Hey, this one I need you. This is what it costs. Click here to submit the order. Essentially, I see Terry here commented. So Louis, reward for you. Hop up, hop. There we go. Congratulations, Louis. That's from Terry. Thank you, Terry. And I will reach out to you afterwards. Seems like you had a little bit of an issue joining the call, which is okay. As we go down the website, again, you see here, this looks to be a very like a nice local business, but it's not going to impress a lot of people when you have stuff like this here. It's just all text. Um, in this case, the way that I would present this a little bit differently, I'm going to show you here an example. You see on the screen right now, we have just a bunch of different uh, paragraphs with text. I would do it like this instead. So this is very irrelevant for what they do, but when you hover above something, you get a little bit more text. Here's how I would present this. You can even use ChatGPT to create something like this. It's surprisingly easy. You can say, go to this website, look at this section, create this, but with this text, and ChatGPT can then print out a prompt or like the code that you can then add up to your website, and it looks exactly like this, but with your text and information. So look at this in terms of information and compare that to this here. I think it's a very different experience right away. And then down here, they just, again, more text, more text, more text. They have testimonials all the way in the bottom. This stuff here, they should put a lot higher up because, again, if you're hiring a locksmith, it's not that you're breaking your bank by doing so, most likely, and it's most likely an emergency. So you want to hire someone very quickly and someone that you know that you can trust. So this stuff here, I would put a lot higher up. Um, again, here I'm going to show another site that we can use for inspiration. Again, very, very different solution. Um, but have a video like this showcasing someone, fixing a lock. Say what they do here, and then a nice quote down here. And then as you start scrolling the screen, you can learn more about what they do and so on and so forth. So this is a kind of style that I definitely would recommend for the site that we're looking at here. So um, gglocksmith.com. Let me know if you need any more help and recommendations. Very happy to reach out and give you a little bit more feedback for how this could be improved. But I hope this was helpful. Um, the next site that I'm going to show you now is a site that is a recruitment agency. Here we go. This is higherpowerstaffing.net. So now we're looking at a very different design. I would say, based on the sites that we've seen so far, this has the best first initial impression. You see right away when we land, we have a video. I kind of in my head hear the rock and roll music, the AC/DC, as they're walking towards the screen. So beautiful video that is very captivating. Then they have a messaging saying connecting the right talent with the right opportunity. Very good messaging right away. Um, so the start here is, I would say, three to 4 out of 5 in my rating. What I would add here once again is we need to bear this in mind, guys. When someone comes to your website, most often people are there for the first time and they're there to figure out if they want to engage with you. So if that is the case, as a first time visitor, I'm going to your website because I don't know if I'm ready to engage with you yet. You need to convince them. And what we see right here is there's good start, but we need to build trust and credibility here. So I would once again add a quote. Again, you saw this site that I just showed you, how we have video in the background, initial messaging, a call to action, and then in the bottom right corner here you have a quote. So something like that is super simple and clean, but can make a very, very big difference. Hope that makes sense. So now I'm going to find the right tab again here. Here we go. So that's something that I would add. Also notice they don't have a call to action. It's so fascinatingly easy to convert people through a website. Yet so many people just do these small little mistakes that just ruins everything. So I would have here somewhere, um, book a call, and once someone click that, I would first of all want to identify, are you a job seeker or are you an employer? That's the two different audiences these guys um, trying to appeal, obviously. Recruitment agencies always need both. They need the right candidates and they need the clients who's hiring for candidates. So they're trying to appeal to both. So then we have why work with higher power. Now here is where their messaging is a little bit off, because um, when you're hiring a recruitment agency, you want to know that you're hiring someone who's not going to waste your time. They're going to be worth the while. I have no idea what these guys are specializing in. Like, is this for HR? Is this for sales? Is this for marketing? Is this for executive C-suite kind of people? Like, I don't want to hire just a generalist. So when I read this here, HirePower is a leading professional search and placement firm that is committed to matching talent with opportunity. Our proven process and outstanding track record ensure that you get the best people in your organization or the best role you ever deserved, period. I can copy paste this text here and add that to any recruitment agency in the world, and it's going to be true. Everyone can claim that they're the best based on what they say here. So it's great that they have this section. It's just that the content here is just completely generic. There must be ways where they can say, like, here's who we help, here's the result we're trying to get, here's a guarantee you're going to get when you hire us, something that makes me know, okay, these guys are different. Based on what I read here, this won't make everyone can say that they're the best in the world. Like, anyone can do that, but the proof is in the pudding, and that's something that we need to tweak and fix here. As we go a little bit further down, here you now see for employers, learn more, or for candidates, learn more. Beautiful and simple, but this here, imagine you being, for example, an employer, you're trying to find the right staff. You see this quick here, is this the right option for you? I don't think you would say yes to that question. So here's once again why I have, like, I'm not giving this harsh feedback to be an asshole. This is really because I just think there's so many small little tweaks that would make such a big difference. And a very natural part of a buying process is going to do some homework on the website. But stuff like this here is, it might have worked 5, 10 years ago. Today, it's not going to make you stand out from the herd. So that's a little bit feedback on this one here. Um, okay, I would love to hear from you. First of all, the first three websites that we went through, which one do you like the best? Because that's going to be very good feedback for the owner of that site as well, to see like, okay, we're doing at least something right. Um, all right. Next up, we have another site here that is called mdself.com. So here we're going to get into something quite interesting, because I know their industry very, very well. It's a huge industry. They have a great market. There's definitely a demand and need. But now we're going to dig into the messaging of this site. So the first thing that we see here is, we see, first of all, this on the left-hand side. You see up here, it's like cut off. I'm not really sure what they've tried to do here. And then there's some form of digital truth animation up there. I wonder if this is, yeah, I think this is basically this logo type cut off. So right away when I see that, I don't even see the full logo type. It right away breaks a lot of trust and credibility. You have, in the first 5 to 10 seconds, mostly what people are going to judge your website on is aesthetics. If they see broken links or logo type that is half cut off, or the photo, as in this case, is just you see half of a woman, you don't know what she's looking at. It's like the initial impression here is quite low, or quite subpar. But let's dig into the messaging. So all of your coaching needs delivered digitally. Okay, fine. But like, again, all my coaching needs, this is nothing about what you do. This sounds, again, very much like a generalist type of company, and generalist type of solutions rarely tends to be the best. We keep going. Get expert digital ebook, customized web application access, and a life-changing online course. When I read that, I'm trying, and let's now ask me, what do I know about this company? They do something about coaching and they have a course. But yeah, and there's something about expert digital ebooks. If you're creating an ebook, I guess. But you see here, if I am confused by staying on the website for 10 seconds, it's very, very unlikely that you give me another 20 seconds to even learn more. In today's day and age, people are so incredibly impatient. So you need to go straight to the point and say what it is that you do. So this here is not a very effective messaging right away. Very confusing. It doesn't give me a clear idea of what you do and what the value proposition is. The photo then you see here, it's a big, big, big photo. Scroll all the way down here. This stuff is great. We've served companies as ABC, Fox, Chase, Southwest, CBS. Very, very impressive. So this here is fantastic. We go a little bit further down again, introducing the MDS Coaching Services Digital Solutions, Career Mastery ebook series, online personal development platform, career identity online course. Like, there are so many online courses on personal development, on marketing, on career development, so on and so forth. So I do think they need to be a lot more specific here. What I would do in their case is, since they have a little bit more of a generalist solution in this case, I'm saying that because they seem to offer a few different pieces. I would start by talking about, what problem are you helping people solve? Because I have so many online courses that I can find. Go to Udemy, go to like even Instagram. There's always, you're going to get an ad about some form of course related to a topic of interest. So talk about the problems, challenges, frustrations that you're helping your audience solve. Be a lot more specific with who you're trying to attract. Um, the design itself is pretty okay, I would say. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. I would say the design itself is like a 3 out of 5. And here it gets started with our ebook. A lot of text once again. This is a no-go. Whenever you add more than 3 sentences, you're going to see a drastic drop off in engagement. So I would keep this a lot lighter when it comes to the text. Client testimonials is great. We don't have the time to look at them right now because going through a testimonial tends to take a little bit of time. Lastly, down here, they have a calendar. So this is very good. Here they make it easy for me to convert. Instead of filling out a boring contact form and stuff like that, they just really say, if you want to get on a call to discuss how we can help, here's our calendar. I can just quickly select the time. This is actually really good as well. So overall here, I can see that this platform is probably built on Kabayi, which is a like online course tool. But the whole experience of going through this, I hope you guys agree when you're watching this and see how I break this down. There's a lot of things here that does just simply does not make sense, and I would not see why this is different from anything else out there. So there's definitely a little bit of things that we can do to improve that. Um, cool. So we're running into our last few examples here. Now we're going to go into a completely different site. Here is another website called Gentle Transfer. This is going to be a quite different site from the ones that we've seen so far. Um, Once again, um, I'm going to pause here by going into something that I've showed at previous webinars, but I just think this is so incredibly helpful. Whenever someone goes to a website, you normally tend to have like a little bit of a doubt and hesitation. Like, why else would you go to the website? Because you're not sure whether this solution is the right one for you. I hope you follow me with this logic. So imagine this now. I'm gonna bring this up. Here are the 6 things that I always recommend that your website should try to communicate. Number one, does this website look modern, relevant, and professional? So this is the first doubt and hesitation. If someone comes to your website and looks amateurish, like it's so hard trying to get them to stay on your website. It is virtually impossible. So make sure that the design really stands out. It's modern, it's innovative, it's professional. I'm not landing on a website where I instantly see that it was built like 10 years ago. So that's the first thing. In the first 10 seconds, we want to make sure people really understand the value proposition. The value proposition is essentially what is the point of your solution? How can that improve my life? So this is where you can say, for example, what is it that you do? Um, why is it important? What problems does it solve? Those kind of things can go into number one to number two. If the right audience comes to your website, it looks modern and they understand that they can help you with something relevant. The next thing is, okay, we're going to dive deeper into number three. What specifically do you do to help me get there? So this is where I come into talking about the problem solutions you solve, the results you help your clients generate and achieve, and then what are the services, solutions, products that will help you get there. Number four is building trust and credibility. Everyone agrees that that's going to be really important, yet very few websites do that in a really good way. I already showed you a couple of examples. For example, uh, these guys here. Nice design, but there's no trust and credibility here anywhere. I need to click around to find trust and credibility. They have like testimonials here on one of the pages. So that's another thing that they definitely should do a little bit more. Showcase why you are different and unique. This is even if you are, breaking the barriers and have a completely new solution, but then say why it is that. Don't let people assume why you're different and unique. Always say that on the website. And very last of all, also go through. Okay, here we go. Here, I think you should see the right one now. So then go through what makes them different and unique and what is the engagement process looking like? If I now would hire you, what journey am I getting myself into? So I wanted to use this because the solution we're going to get into right now can apply a lot of these things. So we're first time visitors to the website, want to figure out, is this something that we want to engage with? The first thing that we see is this here. We see again a photo that is like, it seems like it's half cut off. We have the top part of the website, these two sections here, the visit live auction, explore, and then the top menu. It basically takes, I don't know, 1/4, 1/4 of the website, which is so unnecessary. There's another new trend in web design that is called, um, it's actually not really that new, but a lot of people don't know about it, which is called use the screen real estate efficiently. This is not a very efficient use of the screen real estate. You're going to see in the center here is where you want to have the most important information, and ideally also to the left-hand side, because people always start reading from the left. So they always say that this section here where I'm hovering my mouse, the uh, top left, so to speak, is where, or center left, is where most people are going to read or start reading. So that's where you should have your most captivating information. Now these guys have their box, even I need to scroll down to read the full box. You see that? I see just 1/2 of the subheading there. Um, this here, visit our live auction. I don't even know what these guys do yet, so it would be very hard for me to be willing to jump straight into that right away. I'm going to do this. I'm going to remove this so we have a little bit more visual space here. Um, so instantly, there's a couple of things here that makes me just skeptic with the design. It overall looks quite good. Um, in terms of just the design itself, it looks clean. You see when I scroll down here, here we now say change is difficult, moving can be complicated, and you may not know where to begin. With just one call, our Ohio-based team can handle every aspect of your relocation, downsizing, or estate liquidation. No stress, no mess. Very good messaging here. Here they talk about the problem they're solving. If you are about to do a relocation, you read like, oh yeah, there's going to be a bunch of mess and hassle and stress with this. We should probably find someone we can help, who can help us with this. The only thing that I would change here is say, here is the problem we solve. So that is a very attention grabbing thing. Imagine this: if you're going to invest in a company, if you're going to try to learn about a solution, the very first problem, or the very first thing you want to know is what problem is this going to solve, right? So I definitely recommend that you have that as a message right here. Here is the problem we help your client solve, and even ideally list those in bullet points. If you want to see an example, I will provide something like this here. This is another site that I very often showcase on these webinars. But here you see the difference by hiring this company. If you want to run this podcast, this is a podcast studio. If you want to do the podcast yourself, like there's so many question marks. What mic should I buy? What is the, what is the cover art you should create? All these kind of things. It's a mess. But if I do it with these guys, it's a clear step-by-step process. They help me one by one through the whole thing. So stuff like this would be excellent if they would add to their website somewhere here. Then down here, you see again a little bit more about the what they offer. We'll take care of everything. Here they have very, very good information. The packaging things like this is very good. Here, this is basically the value that they provide, which is fantastic. So good information here. And now you see simple, clean sections. So not too much text, not too much information, just a little bit of a teaser, and then you can click to learn more. So this site, design-wise, is probably the best one that we looked at so far. But they don't build a lot of trust and credibility. There's nothing here that proves how people love working with them anywhere. They had here is a little bit like they need to add here why work with us, because these are some of those reasons. I don't see any form of like, how would this work? That would be another very, like, if I would now hire you for a relocation, for example, what would this look like? Do I need to go to you? Are you coming to me? Like, that's another big kind of doubt and hesitation that I would have if I would go on this website. So definitely something that I would add here as well. And yeah, I also think I'm such a huge proponent of adding video content to websites. There's some really nice interactive ways that you can do that these days without wasting people's attention span quite a bit. So that's another thing that I would add to here as well. The get started call to action is another really important thing to just highlight real quick. Call to action can have a huge difference by just the way you package package it. There is one guy that I heard who was something called a CRO specialist. What he did was that basically stands for conversion rate optimization. How to get as many visitors of your website to convert into a customer sales opportunity, whatever conversion you're looking for as possible. So he charged about $50,000 for his service. And the very first thing he always did was just so ridiculously simple. He changed the call to action color to be green. And he did that on pretty much every single client because he saw on average that increased the conversion rate by 9%. That's actually quite a bit. That 9% might not sound like a lot, but if you got 9% more conversions through your website, I think that would be a huge added bonus. As long as you don't have zero right now, it wouldn't make that big of a difference. But so stuff like that would be fantastic. Um, if you can change the color to something a little bit more that sticks out, and instead of get started, I would say get a free quote. Because that is like get started. I don't know what I'm getting myself into once again, but if I can get a free quote, yeah, that I'd be curious about. Um, so that would probably make a quite big difference on the conversion of this website. Um, Alrighty. So now I'm going to go into the very last site that I have prepared for today. I'm going to go into healthassured.org. Now, here's instantly one thing. They have a menu here that is very sticky. You see here, I move away from the menu and it's still there. So that small details like this that just cause a little bit of annoyance is something that would be very careful about. When I remove my pointer from the menu, it should disappear instantly. Um, but let's dig into the actual bit. That was just something that happened now as I pulled this up. So the very first thing that we see here now, look at the aesthetics. We have essentially two main colors, white and this turquoise blue-ish color. I'm a man, so I don't know. Men only know like five different colors. But the first thing is very, very simple. It's not very visually attention grabbing or anything like that. That would be something that I would recommend doing here. We will dig into the messaging. The UK's leading EAP provider. So right away when I read that, I know instantly this is a B2B business, or they sell B2B, because no private consumer would ever buy an EAP system. Um, I do think the messaging is actually quite good. UK's leading EAP provider. That's actually quite good. Then we have health and wellness solutions to help your business thrive. Very good initial messaging here, because now they mention what they do. They say who is their target audience, and what do they actually do? Help the business thrive. Discover we are the largest employee assistance program provider in the UK and Ireland, and how our unique approach to mental health support delivers lasting change. Out of all the sites that we've seen so far, this is the best initial messaging. The design, we have a lot to ask for. There's a lot we can do there. But now we see here, get a price online or make an inquiry. Again, two very, very good call to actions. They then have logo types rotating down here, and it's very impressive. Nestle, Zurich, Marriott, so on and so forth. Very, very good start. Um, what I would do a little bit differently here again is I would start with some form of video. There's so many websites that we see out there who have a lot of visitors but very little interactivity on the website, so people aren't really compelled to stay, and they drop off very early on. Whenever we add video to a website, it's pretty much one of the safest guarantees that we can have in increasing something called session time, meaning that people stay longer on the website. Another thing the video tends to do as well is it increases the likelihood of people remembering what they see on the website. So, because then you have visual, you have auditory, videos tend to kind of evoke more emotion as well. So that's another thing. We are an independent EAP provider backed by 81,000 organizations. Very, very good. That looks like this is a very serious, trustworthy company. Here they have a video. So I'm going to press play. The video seems to be quite professional. Um, the thing here is that it's almost a minute and a half long. 3 years ago, no one would have minded of a minute and a half long video. In today's story, reel, TikTok world, any video below 30 seconds is going to have a drastic decrease in people who want to watch it or watch more than 30 seconds. So I would trim this down. I would make it interactive. There's so many advice or recommendations I can give for how they can do that, but it's a good professional video, and at least that they have video content is great as well. You also see here to entice me to click on the video, they have Platinum Trusted Service Award and they have Google reviews as well. So very, very good presentation of that. Who are health assured? So as soon as I read this here, I think not bad information. I just want to start here. I always tend to say, start talking about your clients. What are you doing for your clients? They care more about that than your past and history. Talk about here's the clients we work with and serve. Here's how we help them. Here's the problems they solve when they work with us. And here are the outcomes that they can get by collaborating with us. So start there, and then if that makes sense, then they might want to know who's going to deliver that solution. So this is going to be more important. Again, storytelling is so incredibly powerful if you know how to do that right. Um, if you would want any kind of recommendations, advice to how you can tell your story better, you see here in the comment section, you can post your contact details or reach out to me on LinkedIn, and we'll have a chat and I'll see how I can help you there. Um, okay, we keep scrolling down. Here again, why you need an EAP. That's great. That's a very good and important information. Here they have an interactivity. So far, this is probably a 4 out of 5 website, if you ask me. Here, what you can expect. Yeah, show some results. Fantastic. This is very good. I might even consider pushing this a little bit higher up because seeing these kind of results would definitely hook my attention early on. Our award-winning global services for mental health. Okay. Then they have a rotating slider here. All right. Yeah, I hope you guys agree with me, but this for sure is the best websites that we've seen here today. Um, why you should trust us? Again, very, very good information here. And at the bottom, they have a FAQ. Yeah. Look, I'm going to give this website a 4 out of 5 stars. There is a couple of things that I would do to improve it, which is, for example, a little more visually appealing, add a more interactive experience. But yeah, these guys are the best ones that we've seen so far. And my guess here, again, is these guys have probably spent more than 10K on their website. I don't know, but seeing this, I know that this is not an amateur who's built this website. Um, and this is probably a website that is converting really, really well. So I'm really glad that whoever of the attendees who RSVP'd and works for this company, give some props. This is the best one that we've seen so far today. If you have any form of questions, please now comment in the chat. We have a dog here somewhere who's hungry and he probably needs a little bit of treats. So Louis, come here, come Louis. Yeah, he went to bed because he didn't get enough treats. But ask me any form of questions, any comments that you have on this here. How should we do this? How should we improve this? What about this? Anything that you can think of. I am here as a resource, not as someone who's going to try to push you into buying something from us. So use me as a resource if you want to. I love doing this. I hope you can tell from me always hosting these webinars. You're also going to see if you go to Webtec's YouTube chat or not YouTube, LinkedIn page, you're going to see that I post new events there every single Friday. We have these roasts, and on there you can actually see all the kind of events, the work that we do. You see examples of websites that we built where we apply all of these best practices that I've shared with you here on this call. So any questions, you let me know. I hope this was really useful. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, write me an email, whatever you want to need. I am here as a resource. And yeah, I love having these conversations. So it's my absolute pleasure. I'm wishing you all a really good Friday. Sign up for the next Friday as well if you want, and I'm going to roast a bunch of new websites and give feedback and recommendations for how they can improve. And I really hope to seeing you all back then again, or at that time again. All right. Wishing you all a great weekend and stay in touch. Bye bye.